Okay, so very good morning to all. Standard 12 Commerce, Subject OCM, and chapter number 8, that is source of that financial management. In last particular lecture, that we discussed about working capital. Okay, so some topic of working capital that we have to discuss, and right now the last topic of working capital, related to working capital, the last topic is that today here we have to discuss about here. Okay. So in last particular lecture we already studied that meaning that net working capital, gross working capital, difference between net working capital and gross working capital, and at last that we discuss about some characteristics of working capital. Right now we are going to discuss about next part of same chapter, and that is factor affecting working capital. When we are deciding the working capital of our business, what are the factors? Sudhir? So here the next part is when we are deciding our working capital, what are the factors that they are affecting when we are deciding our working capital? As we know, working capital, that means it is useful to pay day-to-day expenses. Okay, so 10 factors are there, and we have to discuss one by one all 10 factors. Okay, so let's see. Number one, types and nature of business. So number one, that is types and nature of business. Okay, so as we discussed that according to types and nature of business, working capital is required. Simply, if our business is related to production, so definitely less working capital is required. Fixed capital is more required. But our business is purely related to trading. It means that purchase goods from one place, sell to the others. So definitely working capital is more required. Okay. So let's see. The need of working capital is depend on types and nature of business. That is, the trading unit maintain large stock of goods, and selling the goods on credit require more working capital. In comparison of that, the ratio of working capital is changed as per the nature and industry. As for example, gas company, electricity company require less working capital, while in labor intensive industry, large working capital is required. So simple. That is depend on your types and nature of business, which type of business that you are doing, and which type of nature of business. Either it is a wholesaler, retailer, producer, or so on the depend on that particular thing that you have to decide that which type of and how much working capital that you has required. So this is the first topic. Now second topic, that is size of business. Okay, so second one, that is size of business. So simple. If your business is large scale, so definitely more working capital is required. And if your business is small, okay, so definitely in comparison of that, less working capital is required. So let's see. The smaller size of business unit, the lesser working capital is required, and the greater size of business, fifth business, and greater the requirement of working capital is there. So this is the important thing, that size of business. Big size of business, big working capital or more working capital. Less or small business is there, less working capital is there. Next, number 3, production cycle. Okay, so here production cycle. So what is included in production cycle? Okay, so first of all, there is raw material converted into semi-finished goods, converted into finished goods, converted into cash, or if you are selling in credit, so data, and ultimately data is converted into cash. Again, that cash we are invested in raw material, then finished good, then semi-finished good. Or this is the production cycle. Okay, so depend on production cycle. If our production cycle is long, then more working capital is required, and if it is short, less working capital is required. For example, dairy products, vegetables, short working capital. That short duration is there, production cycle. Okay, so less working capital is there. So depend on our production cycle plus creditability, how much days credit that we are giving to our customer. That is also depend on our production cycle. And on the basis of production cycle, we can take the decision about it. Okay, let's see. Production cycle means time period between the procurement of raw material and manufacturing of finished goods. As the production cycle is longer between raw material and semi-finished goods, the need of working capital is more. That is, cotton industry, jute industry require large-scale working capital as production cycle is very long, while bakery and dairy products industry that require completely less working capital because the duration of manufacturing process is short. See, think about vegetable process. Okay, whatever we are purchasing from the wholesaler at the same day, mostly at the same day, we have to sell it in the market. Otherwise, on a second day, it's useless if it is green vegetable. Then what happens? So time duration is very short, and that's why working capital is not more required because whatever we are investing, we are getting at same day. But think about jute industry. Okay, think about machine industry that you have to invest more, and after some days, after few period of time, you get the money. So definitely, if your production cycle is long term, then definitely more working capital is required, and if your production cycle is less or short, less working capital is required. So this is the important thing. Next, number 4. So fourth point is production policy and types of demand. Okay, so here production policy and types of demand. Okay, which type of production policy that you are adopting? For example, if you are doing seasonable business, so definitely whole year you have to do the production, and at the shorter period of time you are selling that goods in the market. For example, kite flying or Uttarayan, whole year you are making kites. Okay, and in 1 month appropriately up to 14 December to 14 January. Okay, in 1 month you are selling all the stock. So definitely it's more time. It's more time is there that you are making goods. So definitely more working capital is required. So it's depend on how production policy that you are adopted as well as types of demand. Is this seasonable, routine, or which type of demand is there? On the basis of demand, you are taking the decision. Okay, about working capital. Let's see. Larger working capital is required if the demand of produce is seasonal and business unit follow the steady production policy throughout the year. Let's see, kite flying. Company manufacturing wooden cloth continues in production mostly for 12 months, but the sales remain in winter only. Okay, so same way, every seasonable products that you are producing whole year, but you are selling at a particular time. So this is called a production policy as well as types of demand. Next, number 5. So fifth one is that is stockpile of raw material. Okay, stockpile of raw material. It means that stockpile, that means a person, those who are giving stock of raw material. It means that in short we can say that is our creditors. Okay, in short we can say that is our creditors, those who are provide raw material to us. Simple. Think about that. If only one person is there or only few person is there, those who are providing raw material, so definitely we have to do more stock. We have to do more stock because in certain or uncertain period may be possible that we are not getting raw material at time because only few stockpile of raw material is there. But think about that many raw materials of stockpile is there. Many people are there, those who are providing raw material to us. then it is so easy. At any time, at any cost, at anywhere, we can receive the goods. Okay, so definitely stockpile is less, working capital more. Stockpile is more, there is no need to do more stock, and that's why working capital is less required. Okay, let's see. Quantity of stockpile of raw material become must. Its source and limited of supplying is irregular or available in a certain season only. Hence, big amount of working capital is invested in raw material because only in some period we are getting that particular raw material. So, if it is that type of situation, we have to do more stock. Otherwise, where it is needed, we are purchasing from the market. So at that particular time, we are not getting more working capital because raw material availability is there. Okay, so 5 points that we are discussing. Number 1, type and nature of business. Number 2, size of business. Number 3, production cycle. Number 4, production policy and types of demand. Number 5, stockpile of raw material. Okay. Next, number 6, credit policy. This is the most important thing. Credit policy. How much time that you are giving to your customer? Okay. For example, nowadays it's a trend, one type of that you have to sell your goods on credit. Okay. So if we are giving your goods on credit, definitely your debtors is increases. But how much time you are giving to repayment that things? Either 15 days, 1 week, 1 month. So more, if you are giving more time, definitely you are receiving payment at late, and working capital is required. So here, if a time of credit policy is more, so working capital is also required more. But if you are giving time period less, so rotation is there, so less working capital is required. Okay, so that is depend on credit policy, that how much time you are giving to your debtors to repayment that money. Okay, let's see. The need of working capital is less if the policy of sales of finished goods is on the cash basis. If we are selling the goods on cash basis, then it is so easy. But need of working capital is increased if the credit sales policy is adopted. In the same way, less working capital is required if raw material is available on credit, and if purchase of raw material in cash, it requires large working capital. When you are purchasing raw material, if it is available in credit, if it is available on credit, then easily you can get the material on the certain period of time. After certain period of time, you have to pay that money. But if it is not available in credit, you have to purchase on cash. So definitely more working capital is required. And one thing is that if you have to purchase raw material in cash and you have to sell in credit, then two types of critical situations. At that particular time, highest raw material that you have to purchase, as well as at that time low availability of cash is there, so highest working capital is required, because you are purchasing raw material on cash and you are giving finished goods to your customer as a credit. So here you have to invest money, and here you have to give the finished goods on the credit basis. So highest working capital that you have to invest at that particular situation. So this is 6 points. Next, number 7, conversion to current assets into cash. Okay, that is conversion of current assets in cash. Okay, whatever current assets that we have, either it is stock, debtors, bill receivable, okay, small investors, how much time required to convert in cash? Okay, if time period is short, working capital is less required. If time period is long, working capital is more required. Okay, let's see. Less working capital is required in case of prompt collection from debtors, sales of finished goods on cash, collection of bill maturity. In converse condition, large working capital is required. Okay, if we are selling goods in cash, on time we are receiving payment, we are receiving the money of bill receivable on the date of maturity, then continuously cash comes in. And definitely, if cash comes in continuously, then less working capital is required. But it is in adverse situation, wrong or opposite situation, definitely we have to invest more money. We have to invest more money in our business. Okay, as a working capital. Next, number 8. So what is number 8? Stock turnover ratio. Okay, this is the most important thing. Stock turnover ratio. See, when you have studied accountancy part 2, I think chapter number 4, at that time you have studied accounting ratio. Okay, so in that particular chapter, and you have to learn the ratio, and this is the most important chapter in terms of business. And that particular chapter, one thing is that you have to find out stock turnover ratio. So first of all, I want to share what do you mean by stock turnover ratio. That means a gap, a ratio between in 1 year how much time you are converting your stock. How much time you are converting your stock. Okay, for example, your sales is 10 lakhs. Your average stock is 2 lakhs. It means that 5 times you are convert your stock into sales. Okay, so in this way you can study with the help of formula and in accountancy chapter number 4. So definitely here stock turnover ratio. On the basis of stock turnover ratio, you have to take the decision about working capital. Okay, let's see. Less working capital is required if the stock turnover ratio is higher, and more working capital is required if the stock turnover rate is lower, because working capital is blocked up to finished goods. So higher the stock turnover ratio, that is benefited to company. Okay, and lower employee turnover ratio is again benefited to company. Okay, so on the basis of stock turnover ratio, you have to decide how much working capital that you have to require in your business. Number 9, operating efficiency. Okay, operating efficiency. This is again important topic, because when you study the cash flow, again chapter number I think 5 or 6, when you study the cash flow statement, 3 types of cash flow statement is there. Number 1, cash flow statement from operating activity. Second one, cash flow statement from investing activity. And number 3, cash flow statement from financing activity. Okay, that you have to study in your accountancy. Okay, so here operating activity, that means activity which is related to business. Activity which is related to your business, trading and selling. Okay, purchasing and selling, advanced trading. So how much trading efficiency is there? It means that how much you are selling efficiency in the market of your products. Okay, let's see. The managerial operating efficiency means getting maximum result with the minimum efforts. The need of working capital can be reduced by efficient utilization of available resources and reducing or moving wastage by prompt collection. So if your efficiency is good, then less working capital is there, because within the limited capital you can develop your business at a higher level. Okay, and last, number 10, distribution of profit. Okay, so here distribution of profit. Simple. Whenever you are doing business, definitely you want money in terms of profit. If you are doing fair activity, so whatever money is there as a profit, it is divided into 2 parts. Which 2 parts is there? Number 1, that is reserve, some part that you have kept in your business as a reserve, and less remaining part that you are doing your share as a dividend. Okay, so if we are keep more reserve, if you are keep more reserve, less working capital is required because you are covered that money from the reserves. But if you are selling, if you are distributing more dividend, so definitely more working capital is there. Okay, the distribution of profit is divided affect the cash because dividend in paid in cash. If the company allots a major part of profit as a dividend, more working capital is required because when you are paid dividend is always paid with the help of cash. So when you are paid more dividend, high dividend, definitely more working capital is required. Okay. So here, and that's why what happened if you are paying that dividend with help of cash outflow is there. So more cash is there, those who are goes from the business. Okay, so more working capital is there. So what you are studying? Factor affecting working capital. How much? 10 factors is there. Number 1, types and nature of business. Number 2, size of business. Number 3, production cycle. Number 4, production policy and types of demand. Number 5, stockpile of raw material. Number 6, credit policy. Number 7, that is conversion of current assets in cash. Number 8, stock turnover ratio. Number 9,